everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Joey the Veiled Cottage Witch, and I'm super casual today. Very little makeup. It's been a long weekend. Yesterday was like the longest day ever, so I got a little heat. As you can see, I'm very red. We had market yesterday, and we had full moon ritual last night, and I've been up forever today, so I thought, I just go super casual for my video today, talking about red clover. So I'm kind of dressed like a red clover. I got some green, got a little pink, and so why not? So today we're talking about red clover. So many childhood memories of red clover. I just love it. We remember Bambi, right? When Thumper was eating all the blossoms from the red clover, and Mom says you have to eat the greens too. You guys remember that? I didn't, but my wife was like, oh yeah, Thumper was all about the red blossoms. I remember taking little blossoms and sucking the honey sweet flavor out of them. That's what I remember. So if you've got memories of that, please drop them down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. So red clover's Latin name is Trifolium protens. I hope I'm not butchering that too much. I did not take Latin in high school. I took French, which is useless, by the way. I should have taken Latin. I mean, I'm a witch, for God's sakes. I should have taken that. But here we are. So the folk names of red clover are trefoil, trifoil, honeystalks. I think that's my favorite. Purplewort, shamrock, Dutch clover, purple clover, sweet clover, heart clover, bee bread, three-leaved grass, clover rose, sugar plums, and lady's posy. So lots of fun, common names, folk names for that. But before we get into too much talking about red clover, I want to talk about my sponsor, and I actually made a little commercial for them. So here it is. This video is sponsored by Yeti Scrubs. Make dry skin an urban legend. Their premium salt scrub combines the finest Pacific sea salt, Himalayan, and Dead Sea salt to gently and luxuriously remove dead skin cells, leaving your skin renewed and radiant. Their blend of natural oils provide lasting moisture that I can feel for days. They even carry a lip scrub, lotion, bath bombs, laundry detergent, bath soaks, and even more. So here's the deal. Go to yetiscrubs.com, enter the code veiledwitch, VEILEDWITCH, and get free shipping on all your orders. Go now. All right, so the folklore of trifolium refers to the three leaves, trifolium, right? So clovers in general were thought to be lucky. You don't have to find the four leaves in order to find luck. So it just is lucky. And it's also really protective. And it was known to keep away dark witches and snakes. So, we can kind of think of that as, St. Patrick chasing the snakes out of Ireland. You know where I'm going with that. An old charm goes, trefoil, vervain, St. John's wort, dill, hinder witches of their will. I love things that rhyme, first off. I used to do incantations with my spell work all the time. And I used to break my brain in order to make things rhyme all the time. So I really love finding old incantations like that rhyme. Like it has to rhyme. Since then, a lot of stuff I just kind of do in my head and I send energy since I'm an energy channel. But I just think that's so cool. Okay, so Josephine Addison, in her book, The Illustrated Plant Lore, claims that clover was held in high regard by ancient druids as a ward against evil spirits. And 4-leaf clovers and even 5, 6, and 7-leafed clovers would be placed in pages of a Bible or prayer book. I know you found one in one. I know you have. Near images of saints. And once pressed, these 4-leafed clovers look like equal-armed crosses. And those were old protective symbols in themselves. Super cool, right? And one British belief was that the reason 4-leafed clovers were lucky was because Eve took one with her when she left the Garden of Eden. I'm going to let that sink in. Okay, that's enough. An Irish source claims that an ointment made of 4-leaf clovers could be used to break enchantments placed by either a fairy or a witch. I've found maybe 2 or 3 4-leaf clovers in my lifetime, never enough to make an ointment from them. How would you, that's a lot. I make salves for a living, and I need tons of stuff, tons of dried plant matter to make a batch of 11 salves. I need tons of it. But to find enough 4-leaved clovers to make an ointment, that is a crazy amount of 4-leaf clovers. Where would you get that many? I don't even know. Clover gathered from ancient heathen ruins on Midsummer's Eve was rumored to make exceptionally good wine or beer if added into the mixture. Interesting. In parts of Britain, red clover leaves were worn against dark witchcraft and to bring good luck. That makes sense. All clovers are natural weather forecasters, and when the leaves rose up, bad weather was on the way. I kind of want to keep my eye out for that. So, to dream of clover was thought to be a good omen, a sign of strength and prosperity. To dream of seeing a full field of them in bloom meant much happiness, abundance, health, and good fortune is on the way. The form of the 3-leafed clover is actually the root of the club's suit in the modern deck of playing cards. How cool is that? I think that's super awesome. Yeah. I think now is probably a good time to show the picture of the clubs, the 3-leaf clover. So that's going to be over here. And then we're also going to show the blossoms. The common clover, which grows profusely in fields, and we're going to show that right here, holds prophetic powers and can be placed under one's pillow at night in order to dream of the future. Placed in the shoe in order to protect oneself in the long journey. You could do the blossoms or the leaves for that as well. So much lore on clover, you guys. The 3 leaves of the clover were said in ancient times to represent the earth, sea, and sky. And later, under Christianity, came to represent the Holy Trinity. Guys, same thing, right? I mean, there's really no, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, earth, sea, and sky. It means the same, it means the same, but not, In ancient times, the gods were nature. In modern times in Christianity, they worshipped creator, not creation. It makes me kind of sad that we've gone away from nature. It just depends on what side your butter is bread, really. We've had arguments in our family a little bit where I was like, why can't God be nature, patriarchy, so whole other topic. I digress. Among some Native American tribes, red clover was believed to grow where the blood of warriors had fallen, suggesting a connection with the realm of the dead. I think that's super interesting and ties it to ancestors and, beloved dead. A lot of my ancestors, you wouldn't know it, but a lot of my ancestors come from Ireland, but a lot of my ancestors also come from Native American. So I just don't have their coloring. But I do come from a little bit of Native American. I believe Cherokee. So yeah, it's in my blood somewhere. So super interesting. So on to the folk medicine. I love this part, you guys. So it is great for the lungs and for coughs. And when taken internally, the syrup is a recipe from the Pennsylvania Dutch for whooping cough. Interesting story. I had a doctor. I don't particularly go to this doctor anymore, and I'm not mentioning names. I had COVID last year after midsummer. And the doctor that I went to refused to believe that I had COVID, even though there was a breakout of it in my coven, but told me that he thought I had whooping cough. What? I had COVID because everyone else had COVID. He refused to believe that I had COVID because he was not a believer in that. I had COVID. But he refused to believe it. It's just, some people are believers and some people aren't, and that's fine. You believe whatever you want to believe. But when 4 other people who were at the same party had COVID, and I go to the doctor and he refuses to test me, let's do the math. I had COVID. All right, moving on. Red clover was used to clear the eyes, in particularly for bloodshot and red eyes. And the infusion was applied to rashes, and the leaves were chewed on the Isle of Man for a toothache. Interesting. So if I have a toothache and I can't get to the dentist, I'm going to chew on some red clover. Herbalists use red clover for nerve pain, headaches, insomnia, stomach distress, edema, and hypertension. It was also a folk heart remedy, and externally the leaves and flowers were boiled in lard to make a soothing ointment for cuts, burns, scrapes, and bites. Very cool. Red Clover blossoms. Ooh, here we go. You guys, this smells so good. They don't look like much, but when dried, but I love working with them. I love crushing them by hand and not necessarily by mortar and pestle, for no other reason other than it's satisfying, kind of like bubble wrap. I do that with chamomile too, just so you know. I don't use my mortar and pestle. I just like to do it by hand, just to put that energy into them. So the blossoms can be used. Oh, I got some out. Yep, there they go. Can be used in teas and elixirs, primarily for lung support, specifically as a lymphatic stimulator, helping to move stagnant lymph flow. And I'll get to that when we get to my personal uses, how I use that. Red clover and burdock root, you guys remember that video, right? Combined in a daily tea, help tremendously with skin issues, specifically acne. So you guys could make an infusion with witch hazel as a toner. I have a toner that I am making out of chamomile and lavender right now for rosacea as a special request. So it'll be on my website. So you guys look out for that if you have that issue. A few cups daily for that acne for about 6 weeks is a good dosage to follow, according to Corinne Boyer. If you guys watch this channel, you already know I'm a huge fan of Corinne Boyer and Roger J. Horn. That's where most of my lore comes from in my research. You can bet it comes from Roger J. Horn or Corinne Boyer. They are folk practitioners like me who do their research. So I trust them. All right, let's move on to folk magic. So the element is air, the planet is Mercury, the gender is masculine, and the day of the week it is most potent is Wednesday. So it can be worn as a protective amulet. So you can, you know, like I said, it doesn't have to be a 4-leaf clover. You can use it a 3-leafed one. You could use the dried blossoms and leaves as and put them in a pouch or a sachet along with other protective herbs. Burdock, to mention one. Chamomile is also very protective. Lavender is protective. You can put all those together and charge them in a pouch or a jar and wear it on your person as a protective amulet. Added to bath water, it aids in dealing with any type of financial business. So you can wash your hands in the tea, make an infusion and wash your hands in it. It aids in any financial. So you can wash your hands in the tea and then go apply for a loan. Perfect. You can use it in lust potions, but just remember that it is only temporary. Lust does not, it's a one and done thing. It's not going to be lasting. Lust spells usually are a one and done, like one time use only. In my experience, if you want that lust to keep on going, that usually means that the spell needs to keep charging, in my experience. The infusion can be sprinkled to remove negative spirits or negative energy. So you can use it as a floor wash, infuse it as tea, let it cool, mop your floors with it, spray down your counters with it, doorknobs, window sills, windows, whatever you like. So Magical uses summarized from the folklore. So I kind of did your homework for you here. To bring dreams and visions, to perceive spirits, to bring love, to ensure fidelity, to protect against harmful magic and wicked spirits, and to bring luck and good fortune. Now, my personal uses. I will let you know right up front that I really have only been using Red Clover for about 6 to 9 months. It is new to my magical cabinet. I know. Hey, I can only learn so many herbs at once. Let me tell you, my bad, all right? But since I've been studying it, I have learned that it is amazing for cold and flus. So it's in my cold and flu fighter, along with echinacea, lemon mint, feverfew, mullein leaf, comfrey, horehound, and thyme. During the cold and flu season, this is amazing. I love this stuff. It sells really well. And I have a plan, this is my plan, to use it in some tinctures that I have plans on making. I learned how to make tinctures from dried herbs. So I'm going to make a cold and flu tincture. So it's going to be like a booster to the teas. So I'm really, really excited about that. As far as magical uses, I really haven't dipped my toe in that side yet, but I'm learning and I will get there. So don't fault me there. I'm learning. But I've been on this holistic healing venture, and I've learned that people really want that alternative healing, those herbal healing stuff. So I've been kind of doing, as a folk witch, I am catering to the folk. So I've been kind of switching gears lately, and kind of focusing my efforts that way. So there you go. Not to say that I won't ever use it in my magical practice, but my focus has shifted a little bit, I have to say. So the magic that I do, I don't use a lot of herbs for. I use a lot of energy work, so I use a lot of crystals, and I use a lot of meditation, and so it's not to say I won't get back to using herbs in my magical practice, but for now, I've kind of reserved my healing herbs for my healing products, if that makes sense. So, how do you use Red Clover in your practice? Do you use it in medicine, or do you use it magically, or do you use both? Please let me know down in the comments. You can go to my website to book a reading, to book a service, to sign up for a workshop, or you can shop my herbal products. Please remember that you can enter the code, words are hard today, enter the code all caps veiled to get your free shipping at checkout. If you'd like to financially support this channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee down in the comments below. Other than that, live your best life and live for yourself. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.